Hey guys, this is Geethanjali, and in this video, we'll be continuing with the chapter of evolution. In today's world, we see there are so many life forms and there is so much diversity. So, from where did all these different kinds of life forms come from? It is basically because of this process called evolution. So, evolution as a theory was best described by Charles Darwin at his times. So Charles Darwin, he went on a sea voyage around the world in a ship called HMS Beagle. And he noticed that there were so many diverse forms and all of them were related, but there were also many differences between them. So he could sense that there was some common ancestry among them, but they became different species because of the built-in variations that are present in a population. So these built-in variations, they lead to a different phenotype only when the surrounding environment changes. So in order to adapt for this different change in the environment or food or any other physical factors, their built-in variations come handy. Because of this, the ones which do not have built-in variations, they could possibly be less fit for the changed environment and thus gradually get extinct and thus giving rise to new species. So there was this term called fitness of the individual or a population. And in evolution, it's only the survival of the fittest. And this fitness ultimately refers to only reproductive fitness. That means ultimately whichever species is able to survive till the end and leave the world with progenies of its own kind in maximum number is the most fittest. And this selection of the fittest, he called it the natural selection, and it was basically the mechanism of evolution. So only the fittest would be selected by the nature, and this was basically how evolution took place and how new species arose. Similar conclusions were drawn by another person. He was basically a naturalist who worked in the Malay archipelago, basically the group of islands of Southeast Asia. He too thought there was this competition between organisms to survive and leave progeny in maximum number. And this process would take billions of years and not just 1,000 years, because evolution is a very gradual process and new species just don't come up within a few hundred or 1,000 years, and it takes billions of years for evolution to take place.